Today's committed work split into two tracks. Alcheme tightened the public guide for external programs that want to connect to Alcheme capabilities. Storage Fabric carried the larger implementation track. It closed out more of the operations and recovery layer, then started the provider resource network that decides which storage providers can participate. The Alcheme update makes external program integration easier to understand. The public baseline now has a clearer guide for third-party programs that run outside Alcheme. How to start in sandbox mode, connect chat and voice, use server-side claims, understand the integration entry points, and move toward reviewed production registration. In product terms, this makes Alcheme's external extension story easier for a developer to follow without reading implementation internals first. Storage Fabric closed out more of the current operations and recovery scope. The project now has a clearer path for schema and policy changes, disaster recovery checks, key and issuer restore checks, job lifecycle handling, and operator runbooks. That means the storage system is not only adding features, it is also building the operational procedures needed when migrations, queues, recovery, or emergency workflows have to be handled carefully. Much of this batch was about recovery without overpromising access. Storage Fabric can now record dry runs for schema and policy migrations, generate recovery drill evidence, verify cold start manifests, check key escrow and issuer authority restore paths, and track job retry or cancellation state. The important product point is that these flows are about verification and control. They do not silently grant plaintext access, expose provider locations, or pretend that real provider settlement and payout are already live. The second major track started the provider resource network. Storage Fabric now has the first working model for provider operators, provider resources, capacity windows, resource units, and tenant-owned private provider bindings. This gives the project a structured way to describe who is offering storage capacity, what kind of capacity it is, which tenant can use it, and what boundaries apply before it can be selected. Provider selection also became more careful. The system now has admission checks, supply chain evidence checks, dry run allocation, health probes, quarantine behavior, and provider reputation scoring. In simpler terms, Storage Fabric can begin to ask better questions before choosing a storage provider. Is it eligible? Is it healthy? Is it allowed for this tenant? And should it be avoided because recent evidence looks risky? The Storage Fabric commits add broad tests across the new operational and provider network flows. Coverage was added for schema and policy migration, disaster recovery drills, key restore checks, queue failure handling, provider operators, provider resources, tenant private provider bindings, admission checks, supply chain checks, allocation dry runs, health quarantine, and provider reputation. The main result is clear. Alcheme improved the developer-facing external program path, while Storage Fabric moved from platform controls into the provider network layer that real storage infrastructure will need.